The video of the day, I guess. It's how I manage my anger, okay? So if you don't like it, don't even watch it. That's the way I look at it. But I have a lot of internal anger, which I have the right to have the feelings that I have for all the shit that I've been put through. Nobody asked to fucking come to New York, okay? It's not my chosen fucking place. But you have to search for the reasons why. The reasons why shit panned out the way it did. Not just for me and my kids and my dogs and stuff, but there's other people that got harmed along the way. And so, I'm looking at Rochester, New York. A lot of Rochester, New York, because I worked there for a long fucking time, traveling all the way from that cruddy little sick, twisted little town of Mount Morris, New York, in the village of Mount Morris with the twisted fucks that live there, all the way into Rochester every day to earn a few dollars. And then all the way back just to keep a roof over my kid's head. Okay? And I never want to hear people say, well, why didn't you try to move? You're dumb fucks. It takes money and resources and people willing to help you to move out of a situation that you find yourself in, okay? But because you're so dumb, you can't figure that out. So the underlying, as we see it, now that it's all surfacing, that the homicide rate in Rochester really is historically known due to the allowances provided by to the Italian community who thinks it's fun to kill people and cause havoc in their worlds. Because they have no ethics, obviously. They have no moral standings, and they think that everybody owes them something. So here, dumb fucks, let me just backdate some of this shit. Nobody owes you nothing. You stepped on this land, and you killed the Huron. And this area, New York, was heavily occupied by the Huron at one point in time. And thankfully for the Sioux, I can pick up that registration marks on what you did. And the killing never stopped. Because you're killers, you're murderers. It's in your blood, you're serial killers. Okay? I have dealt with so much fucking shit out of that stupid, pathetic fucking section of land called Livingston County, New York, that I could write a fucking book on the shit that I've been through. But let me take you to the Italians and what they do. So the guy that I allegedly married while I was in the military, that I have no recollection of actually marrying this guy, nor were there any pictures or anything else, just a piece of paper that I had to go along with. Whatever. After a while, you're just like, whatever. His mother's Italian, okay? And let me tell you what she did to me, okay? I was working, this is like back, I want to say the year maybe 2002. I'm working at Chase, Manhattan Bank, JP Morgan Chase as a loan officer. And I come home one day and I'm at the door. I walk through the door. I had a coat rack to my left. And her son just beats the fuck out of me, smashing my head into a million fucking... I got blows, blows, blows. And then I'm just laying there going, you get caught off guard. It's one thing if you know the blow's coming at you. It's almost like your mind can somehow register what's about to hit your fucking face. But this motherfucker, he's such a coward, okay? So he beats me down the minute I walk through the door. And I'm trying to, like, come through, because I didn't even realize what the fuck happened to me. You know what he says to me? If I ever talk to his mother like that ever again, or he finds out that I talk to his mother like that, it's going to be worse than what I just got in the hit. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't even talked to your mother. Like, I stopped going to her house because it always ended up in a beatdown. She'd say I did something that I didn't do, or she didn't like something about me, and then I'd get beat the fuck down. So apparently, she made up this fucking story. But really, what happened was this. I get a phone call at work from some guy. He's got a backhoe at our house. And he's waiting for the dickoid that resides with me, okay? And I know nothing about this stuff. So where's your husband? I'm like, I don't know. He should be home. He works the night shift. Well, I've knocked on the door several times. He's not there. Nobody's answering. There's no car in the driveway. I'm like, well, I don't even know who you are and why you're calling. Well, he hired me to come up here with a backhoe. I can sit here all day because I'm charging him and you $175 an hour to sit here. So if he wants me to sit here, you're already in the hole right now, $175. I've been sitting here an hour. Nobody's here. I'm like, let me make a couple phone calls. I'm actually in Rochester. I know nothing about this, and I will call you back. So I call his mother, and I'm like, do you know where he is? Well, he's home sleeping. I go, well, there's this guy there that's charging $175 an hour with a backhoe, which I know nothing about. And, obviously I'm the one that's going to have to pay for this. So if he's there, go stand outside or something. Otherwise, I'm going to call this guy back and tell him to take off, because I know I didn't authorize no $175 an hour backhoe guy. Okay? And so she calls me back, and she was able to get a hold of her son somehow. So I'm like, that's weird, because he wouldn't answer the phone for me, but he answers the phone for you. And the only thing I said was, I'm so glad that my mother raised my brothers the way she did. That's all I said. Because it's on my fucking shoulders, the debt he created. So she turns around and takes this one little comment that I make, and she on the phone to him that day while I was at work, and said that I told her that she didn't raise her children right. That might be some deep-seated thought in your fucking mind, because you know you didn't raise them right to be good, outstanding people. But I never said that. I said, I am so glad that my mother raised my brothers the right way. Because I don't know of any, I didn't say this, but in my head I'm saying to myself, I can't imagine my brothers having some guy sit there at the edge of their properties while their wives are getting charged $175 an hour for some backhoe guy, knowing he ain't never going to pay for it, and that I'd be stuck paying the fucking bill. Well, he's out lollygagging around with his coworker, who's married, by the way. I mean, that's some fucked up shit. So anyways, I get beat down because she makes up this, expands on what I actually said. And she makes up all this other bullshit and then puts her little fake fucking crying act on the back end of it. Like, I really hurt her fucking feelings. I'm an Italian princess and she talked shit to me. When I didn't even say fucking, I was like really cordial. And I just was like, you can't help but sit there and go, what? How the fuck do these people fucking operate? Like, they have no conscience of what they do to other people. They fucking have no they could care less. And so I come home at the end of the day, all excited to see my kids because I valued every fucking moment I had with them. And what do I get? Beat the fuck down with his fucking fist to my head. And I don't even know how long it took me to come fucking back, too. But my kids were crying because they witnessed it all. And it's all because she fucking made up bullshit. I cannot stand. These are the reasons why I fucking cannot. I will put all Italian women in the same fucking category. As a matter of fact, if I ever see a rosary bead again, okay, I'm going to be praying, Dear Hiawatha, please protect me using your father against these sick, twisted mind Italians. Please remove them from my presence. Keep them far, far away because they're liars. They're abusers. They instigate domestic violence and abuse. They're sick, twisted, jealous fucking souls. That's who they are in all reality. Jesus Christ. And I don't believe in Jesus or Christ. I know the truth about that shit. Fucking mobs. These fucking tweaked out freaks, like they're glamorous fucking people, instilled bad behavior on all children throughout all these communities in New York. And nothing for nothing, I view Rochester, New York as the stinkiest armpit in the fucking United States. Where if I hold my palm of my hand up over my head on the left-hand side, Maine is at the top, and I can run it all the way down. That's the New England states that fucking go right down to my elbow. And coming back up right where it stinks the most, in the armpit. That's Rochester, New York. Sick fucks, man. That rosary, well, that right there is the jealous, sick, loosely fucking fitted strands of sickness that roll around in an Italian woman's fucking mind, and the shit she makes up along the way to abuse women and children so she can stay on top and feel like a queen. That's you, Valerie. You're a sick bitch. And the truth needs to be told about you before you fucking die. And I am still waiting for the day that your fucking obituary is fucking flashing in a publication somewhere. Because you're a rotten, sick, twisted fucking bitch, what you did to me and my kids. So is your son. Jesus Christ. Talk about fucking pure fucking evil. That's them. Zazo.